Woody Wommack joined by Mike Farrell. Mike, big news as Hudson Wolfe, four-star tight end, backs up his commitment to Tennessee, just the latest decommitment. What did you think when you saw this news? Came together quickly over the last 24 hours or so.
Yeah, I didn't see this happening. He was one of the guys in state that they could hold their hat on and say, we landed him. We have him number one in state. And, he was a pillar of this class and a guy that, obviously he's no Eric Gilbert or anybody like that who's going to change your offense immediately. But I think he was going to be a tremendous contributor. And he's a good pass catching downfield threat for them. So it helped that offense. So this is another big loss. And, Vols fans are not happy. But this class was going to go one of two ways. They loaded up early. They were either going to have to cut guys for better or lose better guys for worse. And it's turning out to be the latter.
In terms of what we expect him to do, a lot of noise around Ole Miss. I mean, they were actually made a really strong push right before he committed the first time. And I think that offense has kind of sold him on what they have to offer. You expect him to land with the Rebels?
Yeah. Originally, remember, it was Ohio State, it was Alabama, it was Tennessee. There was some talk of Ole Miss. Now it appears to be Ole Miss. And that Lane Kiffin offense is fun. I mean, you can put up big numbers there. Obviously, at Alabama, O.J. Howard wasn't utilized as much as people thought. But then, was it the title game or the playoff game? He just blew up and became an absolute beast for them. And, Irv Smith is in the NFL. So, you see what Kiffin's done with his tight ends over the years. And, you have to be tempted. So he's announcing, Friday morning. And it's expected to be Ole Miss. And that's what I would expect, too. He's being very low about it, low key, because he's getting so much hate. There's a lot of hate with this one.
Yeah, poor kid. You mentioned Tennessee's struggles in state. We saw when Pruitt came in, he kind of, alienated some people in state. Then he rebuilt the relationships. They had a huge year in state. This year, I mean, when we look at the state rankings, I mean, it's almost looks like the last years of Butch Jones, right? I mean, when you look at all these guys, you could say it's not a great year, but when you have guys going to Michigan, two guys going to Clemson, I mean, that's not a good sign, right?
No, it's not. It's not a good year, but you're right. It's not a good sign because, if you're Tennessee, you got to work inside out. You can win your battle here and there in Florida and Alabama and Mississippi and especially, a couple in Georgia. But you have to take care of the home state first. So, the way it felt to me was when the staff came in that they didn't want to play ball with a lot of the guys that were there. Whether it was 7-on-7 or, whatever, they felt they were the better of talent evaluators and they were going to take who they took. And some of those good players ended up leaving the state. Then they recovered and said, you know what, this is the way you play ball here in Tennessee. You got to get these kids on campus. You got to offer them earlier. They did that. Things were trending very, very well. And then, this year's a down year. So I'm not really concerned about the in-state losses because I don't think it's a great year. But the slip back in every direction is really a problem. You keep losing guys from Florida, you lose guys from Tennessee now. That's not good.
All right. Be sure to follow Mike and Rivals all week long as we continue to lead up to National Signing Day on Wednesday. Thanks, Mike.
Yep.